Hi, I'm Rachel Simmons, and I'm the author of the book Enough as She Is, and also the books Odd Girl Out and The Curse of the Good Girl. I help students all over the country manage the stress of the expectations that so many of you are getting around needing to be perfect for a college application. I think no one should have to trade their wellness or their self-worth in the drive for success, meaning you can be driven and you can be ambitious, but you should still find ways to be happy and not lose your soul or yourself. And so one of the things I want to just share with you that I think a lot of people don't understand is that the stress that you're going through right now, that's not your fault. So if you find yourself feeling like what's wrong with me that I can't keep up? Or am I the only person in my friend group or among my peers that is struggling in this particular way? You should know not only are you not alone, but that this isn't something that is wrong with you. This is something that's wrong with our culture. I think there's never been a harder time to apply for college than right now, and that's on us as the adults. It's not on you. I want you to remember this because when you think that there's something wrong with you, you get ashamed. You feel terrible about yourself. You feel like there's something wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with us, the adults, who have set you up to feel like you have to be flawless in everything that you do. So just keep in mind that this is not all about you, that there is a bigger cultural problem at play, and I hope that that gives you a little bit of ease of mind as you navigate this difficult time. The other thing I want to talk to you about is something that has been so helpful for all of my students, and that is called self-compassion. Self-compassion basically means when you're hurting or when you're being really hard on yourself, can you be at least as nice to yourself as you would be to someone you love when they're suffering? Because the reality is you're probably more likely to beat yourself up when you're hurting and to be super nice to one of your friends. So what would it look like to be nice to you? Now, a lot of people that I teach this to are like, I would never be nice to myself because if I was, I would never do my homework ever again. Meaning you think that you'll lose your motivation if you're not being self-critical. But what research tells us is that self-criticism actually doesn't make you more productive. I mean, you'll still do your work, but you're often more anxious, and you might even be slightly less motivated as a result. So instead, there have been over 1,000 studies done on self-compassion which show that if you have it, it can help alleviate chronic academic stress. It can help you recover more after a setback without being horrible to yourself. Self-compassion can even help you be braver, because if you don't beat yourself up when you make a mistake, you're much more comfortable taking a risk because you're cool with failing. So here are the 3 steps for self-compassion. The first is mindfulness. So like the next time, let's say you get a really bad grade that on a test, or something just doesn't go your way academically. Instead of saying something horrible to yourself like, what's wrong with me? I'm such a loser, like I'm never getting into college. Can you say to yourself how you feel, like how you really feel without judging it? So can you say like, I feel really disappointed? Try an emotion word. I feel angry. I feel, upset. The second step of self-compassion is self-kindness. And really the way to do this is just picture someone you love who is kind of treating themselves the way you're treating yourself. And just like, what would you say to that other person? What would you say to someone you cared about who is struggling the way you are right now? Then you just say it to yourself. So you might say to someone who bombed a test, like, it's okay, like happens to everyone at most points in life, like that this happens. Maybe you need to study harder next time, or like go talk to a teacher for extra help, but it's not the end of the world and you got the next one. Like just figure it out for next time and like get the help that you need. You would probably not say to a friend like you're a loser and you're not going to college. And if you wouldn't say that to someone you loved, you shouldn't say it to yourself. The third and final step of self-compassion is called common humanity. And basically that means, are you the only person in the history of the world to bomb a test? Or can you think of anyone else you know who's gone through that? Because when you think you're the only one, like I said before, you're more likely to beat yourself up and feel terrible, and you're not going to do better in life when you walk around thinking you're the only one. So I want you to stop saying, I'm the only one who goes through this or who's bombed a test, and just remind yourself like, yeah, this happens to people, I'm not alone. So the 3 steps are mindfulness, meaning how do you feel? Don't exaggerate it, don't deny it, just like, you feel hurt, you feel upset, you feel scared, you feel, disappointed. Self-kindness, What would you say to a close friend? And Common Humanity, remind yourself that other people have gone through what you're going through. That is self-compassion. There's lots more to learn about it, so I encourage you to check it out with a simple search online. For more information, follow me on Instagram at Rachel J. Simmons.